Hi, Gibaud.com, and today we're going to speak about model directing a model, and specifically expressions. Let's start. Very often when I publish pictures, I hear people saying, why does that person is not smiling, or what does he look sad, or whatever. And actually, I realized that many photographers are actually asking models to do things professional photographers don't even ask. First of all, what is a model? A model is a person that is posing for you, for the camera, without posing for personal portrait or a personal photography. Is actually a person that is acting. That's a big difference. If I do a portrait of my daughter, this is not a model. This is a person in front of the camera and making a picture. If you have a client that asks you to make a portrait of him, he's not acting, he's showing himself. Modeling is acting. So really a model is an actor or an actress. So this is really the base. You must think this way. Modeling is acting. Posing for personal portrait is not modeling. That's very different. Expressions, there are many expressions. Seriousness, sadness, anger, happiness, provocation, love, etc. Many expressions that are possible. But when you're actually doing a shooting, a thematic shooting, you don't want to have all these expressions. You want to limit to the idea of the shooting. It's not like you're not doing a catalog of expression. Except if you're actually doing a book for an actor or a model that need to show their clients what faces they can have or what expression they can show or whatever. That's very different. But if you're doing a thematic photo shoot, it's logical to limit yourself to a few expressions that are related to the idea, not all the expressions. Because otherwise the shooting will lose consistency. You cannot have a criminal look and sometimes he smiles, sometimes he's shy, sometimes he's happy. But of course they can do all that, but if you make your shooting to be consistent, it's important that to center yourself on the idea, on actually what the acting is. Even if it's photography, it's not video, but you need to limit the expression to what has been required with the script actually. If you ask your model to do every expression, probably you are lost. You don't know actually what you're doing. You're just doing a random expressions and I'll pick the one I prefer. This is not what a photographer should do. A photographer should think clearly what expression I want and ask that person to keep to this expression. And if I'm doing a shooting with some consistency, I make like 5, 10 or 12 shots to present a series of pictures. I need some consistency, except if it's an exercise of to explain how to make different faces, or the model to train the model, or if a specific series that you want to show 12 different faces of that person. But this is really different. I speak when you make a consistent series. The expression should be similar or really close or within the theme. You know, not jumping from laugh to tears to a thing. Because it's nonsense. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work this way. It doesn't look coherent. It's like separate pictures in a series. No, a series is a series. It's not separate pictures. Even if you have 10 pictures, it's within a story. When we do a fashion photography, it's very usual to have person with little expression. They don't transmit much. Why? Because the hero of the picture in fashion photography is the clothes or the product. And actually many designers, when they do on the catwalk, I don't speak about picture now, I speak about fashion, like a fashion show, they prefer to have all the model to look the same way, same height, same physical, but not for the size of the clothes. Also, This way, you don't difference that much from the public. You don't difference that much which model is this, which one is this one. You look, they all look the same. So what you look at is actually the clothing, what they're wearing. And this is the idea of fashion, to show the clothes. So when you make photography, fashion photography, it's really normal to have a really neutral face, no smile, no anger, nothing, really neutral, because the designer of the clothes, or the shop who is selling the clothes, wants you to look at the clothes. When we speak about advertisements, publicity, this is different. We don't want people just to look at the clothes. We want people to feel how they will feel when they use this product. So in this case, you actually use expression that reflect what people will feel when they use a product. Like if you do a product for a picture for funeral product, it's very logical that you have sadness, and people will feel when someone dies, I will feel like this, someone close to me will feel like this, I will contract this service. If you sell a product, picture for a banking product, you want to an expression that feels confidence. So this way the person who buys the service or the product will feel confident. If you sell a product about happiness, you want the people acting with happiness, so the client, when they see the picture, say, well, if I had this, I would feel happy. Even if doesn't think this simple is subliminal, actually gets to his mind this way. So in this case, the expression will be really clearly not neutral, but will be towards what you want the potential client to feel if he buys if he buys a product. So this is really important this way. And when we speak about thematic photography, logically the expression will be related to the shooting, which is logical with what you want to show. So for example, I'll give you a link here. We make a session shooting with Claudia Reyes when she was, it's called Defender, and you see she has a weapon, 2 weapons, and then she's like futuristic, bit of future soldier or something like this, or a Mad Max style. And obviously when she's pointing at you with the gun, she cannot be smiling like she's smiling to her mother. Obviously she needs to be to have this aggressive look or whatever. So when people say, why doesn't she smile on any of the picture? Why? Because she doesn't have to smile. For this acting, there's no point of smiling. And if it was like prairie pictures with flourish and all this, and it looks like happiness, all this, yeah, that would be nonsense to be aggressive. So it all depends on the theme. So it's really logical to keep the expression to the context, to the theme, to the idea of your shooting. When we speak about expressions, very often people think just about the face. Actually, it's everything. It's the face, the body, extremity like the hands, feet, and also emotions. And it has to be consistent. Everything has to be coordinated. If I have a person like tearing his clothes apart, cannot be like your hand really like this and the smile like, because it looks stupid. It doesn't work. And the other way around also. I cannot have a smile like I'm really happy, in situation you want to show happy, and you have the feet that look strangely placed and they look really nervous. So it's everything. You cannot have someone with a smile that is just won the lottery and crying as if someone has died. Because that's not crying of happiness, it's crying of sadness. Obviously, it's not going to work. So you have to take everything, the expression from your feet, your hands, the face, your emotion, everything has to be coordinated. So it's very, very logical to choose a model that will fit in your idea, in your thematic theme. In your thematic shooting, that person must fit in there. So this is why very often they do casting, the same as they do casting of actors for movies. Same way, you want someone that fits the idea. So when you start, I recommend you don't prepare a shooting for someone that doesn't fit the idea. Maybe at a later date, but right now when you're starting, you're not an expert, and that person is going to pose, is not an actor yet, or will never be an actor, but can do some kind of acting for your camera, but choose something that fits that person. So if you cannot find the right person, try to find a person for your ID. If you don't find a person for your ID, then choose another ID for the person that is available. If it's your wife, your husband, your daughter, your kids, or a friend, a brother, whatever. If the ID you have doesn't fit the way it looks, well, think of another ID. Yeah? So the characterization must be within a context, like the age, the height, the weight, the gender, the way it looks, if it has scars or whatever, if the skin color, eye color, hair color, everything. So you must take all this into account. Obviously, some people tell me, yeah, but most of your pictures, we make them with Claudia Reyes and you do different style. Yeah, but we've been working together for 5 years. So she knows how I work, I know how she works, we know how to communicate, we know how to transmit, all this. And even this is not always easy, you know, so sometimes it's hard to say, do exactly what we want. And there are some things that maybe we don't do. So it doesn't mean because your model looks this way you cannot do anything. Maybe you can do several things, and that person will get versatile, and you'll get also versatile at directing or explaining what you want. But it takes some time. You cannot in the first shooting ask a person to do everything, or sometimes it looks ridiculous. You can ask a person that looks really serious to do some alternative modeling if he doesn't feel like this. If I ask someone who really doesn't like tattoos to draw tattoos on his body and feel like if he had tattoos all his life, it's hard to do that. A professional actor probably will be able to do that, but a model who has no experience will be hard to act the way he would act, for example, if he was really like this. And your picture won't look really good because the lighting must be perfect, the person must be really nice or really whatever, well prepared, the way you've dressed, and but it won't fit, something will be wrong, you know. So actually try to find someone that works until that person has some training, some experience, and maybe we'll never get there. Some people are not able to get there. Actually, when you look at movies, there are some people, some actors, they've been policemen in all their movies, or they've been the bad guys or the good guy or the tough guy or the happy guy in every movie. Why? Because they do it so well that they're being contracted for that. So if you contract a guy for the way he's a bad guy always, why do you ask a model with no experience to be in 10 different styles when a professional actor is not able to do it or doesn't want to do it? So this is nonsense. You should try to limit expressions and things to fit the person, fit the idea. Don't forget also that you should tell that person beforehand, a few days before, what you expect from that person. Actors that get the text and the script and all this, and they know beforehand what the movie will be about. They don't get to the place and say, okay, let's start acting. No, they've been prepared themselves. They've prepared themselves. When you look at the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix actually lost a lot of weight and also learned how to have his elbow like this, so it looks natural. It looks like you really feel this guy is always like this. Actually, it's not his body; it actually looks like this. Or you look at Dr. House; he's being like this, leaping. I can't remember. You said that leaping. I don't know. You said that. All the Sari, and actually, this actor is not this way. His legs are okay, you know. So this is very important that. You explain to the person beforehand what you expect, and that person can train in front of a mirror, put faces, put the body, the poses, all this. So to conclude, don't think posing as a model is having 50 faces in the same sari. Actually, many models don't have 50 faces. 50 expressions. Why? Because they contract them for 2 or 3 specific expressions, and people like this expression, and it's what sells. So don't ask a model to have 50 expressions. Limit to what you actually need. And as a spectator, now I hope you understand why in some pictures, in some series, a model never smiles, or always smiles or whatever and doesn't do anything else, because this is not a personal portrait. This is not family photography. Every picture is within an ID and the expression are within this ID. I hope this video explain a bit more my point of view on this. Maybe you will think different, but this is what I think. If you think it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a small button down here and also a small bell. If you click on it, you'll get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below. Send me an email to info@ericgibaud.com. Below, also leave links of my gear on Amazon and also links to other parts of my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Bye.